Okay, so I am currently 15 weeks out from the Chicago Marathon 2025. It is June 27th, 2025. The race takes place on Sunday, October 12th. And it's really weird saying that out loud because time is continually going faster and training is continually getting more challenging and difficult by the day. And it's been a wild ride to say the least so far. I haven't been a runner per se. The most I've ever ran is a half marathon. I did a half marathon race last year, so the most I've ever ran is 13 miles, and I've only done that one time. Prior to that, I've done two 8K races and two 5K races, and that's it really. And that's all within like the last 2 years. So to take this on is a doozy and it's a big challenge, but I'm very anxious and excited and nervous and all the feelings that come with, taking something like this on. I've never done an event or a physical challenge like this before. And I'm really excited to put my mind, body, and spirit to the test and see how far I can take myself and how far my spirit can, lift me and bring me along for the ride. So I started training these last few weeks. I'm wrapping up week 6 right now of marathon training, this training block. Tomorrow I run a half marathon for the second time ever. So that's crazy. But I do see how it's just more so, I just did a 10-mile run. That was fine. Plus 3 more miles. No big deal. It's pretty hot here in Chicago, so got to make sure to get out there early and get it out of the way before the sun gets a little too high, that UV gets a little too hot. But I have my calendar pulled up here. And so at the end of March, I did the Shamrock Shuffle in Chicago. I did the 8K, and I didn't really train too much for that, I don't think. I don't really remember, but I beat my previous 8K time, which was great. That's what I wanted to do. And I said I was going to get 37 minutes or something like that, and I did. So that was awesome. And I was just doing like a few runs that week. Did a recovery run and then like 3 more runs that later that week. And then I did basically the rest of the few weeks, like the 3, 4 weeks, actually more like 5, 6 weeks even, was just aerobic runs, building that foundation, that base, and just getting in the habit of running and getting in the habit of running multiple times per week. So the goal was to run, um, 4 to 6 times per week, but sometimes I just like wasn't able to do that. And I was only hitting some of these, 3, 4 times a week, which is fine. It's still more consistent than I have been with running ever. And so I was also playing basketball during that time. But that was actually, looking back on that, I haven't really had a chance to reflect on that even. So that was the end of March and then all of April. And that brings me to like 23 weeks out. I didn't even run. I don't know what happened with that. Um, and then I went on a trip. I was out of town, so I didn't really run those next 2 weeks either. And then when I got back from that trip back in Chicago, that's when like the training really began. And I was like 21 weeks out. I have my little handy dandy calendar here. And so right now I'm doing Monday is an optional run or cross train day, and then I do a full body strength training session on that. And Tuesday I do a speed workout followed by another full body strength training session. Wednesday is a medium long run, and I usually just do arms on that day, just keep it upper body and give my legs a break. Thursday, either an easy run or I just give myself a full rest day depending on how I'm feeling. I've definitely found that I, even running like 1 mile, I still just feel better and more loose just having that consistency. I haven't made it a habit or a goal necessarily to like have a run streak and like keep that up, but it is in the back of my mind sometimes. Like I did just run about 7 or 8 days in a row, which is great. But I took the day off on Thursday, and that was fine. No big deal either way. Friday, um, is usually a shakeout run, and then I'll do another full body session. Saturday is my long run, and I'll do another full body session. And then Sunday, I have a recovery run, and that'll be like an optional. Usually, I do it though. It's another arm training session just because I was doing that before. So basically, I was doing all the strength training before, and that may seem like a lot, but I've been training for almost 6 years consistently now. So my body's pretty used to the high volume already as far as strength training is concerned. And I've pretty much, not pretty much, I have just kept the strength exactly the same and then just added in the running. I want to get in as much strength as I can right now before, peak weeks and before the mileage gets really high. I'm doing a good job of being mindful of not going too hard, and there's still progressive overload in the training, um, and that feels good. I'm not overly sore. The first few weeks, I felt, or the last few weeks, I was pretty sore, but this last week has probably been the best in terms of soreness, and I think my body is, starting to adapt to everything. And yeah, that's been my training program thus far, my weekly marathon training build. Um, I'm going to look at the rest of May. So, yeah, like I said, end of March, April, just building that aerobic base. And then the end of May, that's really when I started to get more into it. That third week of May, I did 5 runs, and they were just low mileage, 4 miles, 5 miles, 2 miles, 2 miles. And then I had a long run of 8 miles, a long run, 8 miles. And then, so that brought us to 20 weeks out. And so I had 4 miles easy. I did a fartlek, 6 miles easy. I took the day off. There's a shakeout run, 9 miles, and then just repeating that pretty much while playing basketball once a week as well. And I actually stopped playing basketball just because that I did find myself very sore from. And just the jumping and impact, stopping, going, lateral movements. I think just all of it, it was just a little too much. But I think that's definitely helped and contributed to my overall recovery. And I was doing that on Thursdays, which was supposed to be my rest day. And now that that's mainly a full rest day, it's been very helpful. So, like, really, Thursday's like my big day of where I don't really do much outside of mobility flow. Maybe I'll do some yoga or Pilates of some kind, but and usually always contrast therapy, sauna cold sessions, and that's great too. And then we get into June, and now things are like starting to ramp up big time. And getting up to double digit long runs. I'm starting to, do 7 miles like it's nothing, 8 miles, no big deal. And just trying to battle this Chicago heat too. The heat training is a lot different. I'm not used to that, but it feels great. I mean, I love sweating. I love being outside, and it's been really meditative for me overall. Just getting out there. That's pretty much. I just usually hit like a meditation breathwork practice. Get out there, get my run in, and just get the sun in my eyes and sun on my body. And that's been a great way to start the day. I love it. It's been really meditative, just being outside more, moving my feet. Usually, I'm not listening to any music. And if I do listen to something, it'll be like motivational compilations. You probably have seen a lot of those on YouTube. I really like Inspired by Florian. I think that dude's making some of the best ones right now. B Invictus is a cool one too, but Inspired by Florian, I think, is the most fire. And it's a lot of like David Goggins movie references, like stuff that I love, and just gets me motivated in that sense, and kind of just turns on that fire, that energy that I need to like keep me going. And yeah, this last week was pretty challenging. Definitely had the hardest track workout so far, or that was my first track workout actually, and it was just very hot, and I felt like I was going so fast and hitting my paces, and it turns out I definitely wasn't. But I just learned that with heat training too, you have to adjust your goal times by about 30, 40, maybe even 50 seconds. So that kind of made me feel a little bit better in that sense. But yeah, today I had a 4 mile shakeout run that felt good. Yesterday was a rest day, like I mentioned. And yeah, tomorrow will be a half marathon, 13 miles. And then next week after that, the long run will be 14 miles. And that will be the longest I've ever ran in my life before, which is crazy to think about. And yeah, so week 6, this is week 7 or 8. Negative. It's about to be week 6. I think it's about to be week 7. Either way, one of those weeks doesn't really count because it was still more foundational. But I was told that after this next week, now the training like really, really starts. So yeah, we have July, August, September, and that's it. Wow, 3 months. I can't believe it. So first marathon. I love that it's going to be in Chicago. I'm from the northwest suburbs originally, and it's just a great way to experience the city, and to give back to the city and the people here that have shaped me into the person that I am. And I'm running with the Brain Recovery Foundation, great organization, very aligned. Was able to raise, I think I'm at $2,500 or $2,600, and I was able to do that in less than 48 hours, maybe even 24 hours. It was 24 to 48 hours, which is awesome. And I would like to continue to try to raise as much money as I can. Just because I hit my goal doesn't mean that I have to stop. And that's the same thing with anything in life, right? You just have to keep going. So I feel pretty good overall. I wish I had my journal by me to go over more notes of like how I was feeling each week. I wanted to make videos every week, kind of giving the download. And this has kind of been just like the full download of weeks, 1 through 5 or 6 or whatever it is. And yeah, running is hard. Running sucks for sure. Um, but I do love it in a weird way, I guess. I think a lot of people say that it is a love hate relationship, but I just love the community. I love the events. I've spectated a lot of marathons, and it's just been such a pleasure. So to be on the other side of that and receiving end of that, I can't even really imagine that. I've had small doses of that with the 5K, 8K, and half marathon races. The 8K, I ran at the end of March. I forget how many people that had, but even that felt like a lot of people. So that's definitely something that I still have to get used to, is running with that number of people. But the only way that's going to happen is if I keep doing marathons, I guess. But I'm really excited, and I have a pretty lofty goal in mind, and I'm going to keep it lofty, and whatever happens, happens. But I just want to put it all out there and finish and do my best. So I'm really excited about that, and we'll see where it all goes and where it all takes me. A lot of people tell me, that I want to do another one and all that, and I'm just going to take it one step at a time. I would love to do all the majors. I think that would be fun. But for right now, just doing the Chicago one and this one time feels great, feels right. So balancing, I always say balancing, but there really is no balancing with the running and the strength training. But I will attribute my capacity for running and my ability to maintain this training because of my strength training. And that's what's helped me build the base and foundation to keep this high volume and to keep my body in shape essentially, and to just be able to get all this done, because I've seen people that are on both sides of the spectrum with running and strength training and not really using both of those. And not that you necessarily have to run as somebody who strength trains, for your cardio, but teach their own. And like I usually tell people, don't run, just strength train. Um, but I don't really know where I was going with that, and that's okay. Sometimes you just gotta go with the flow. But oh, I was saying, like, yeah, I attribute all the running thus far to my strength training. So I know it probably seems like a lot to other people, having 4 full body strength training sessions per week. I know a lot of people do 2 to 3, but I think with the progressive overload, and having a deload week every 4 weeks, it's been fine so far. And once I get closer to those peak weeks, I can always scale that back and just go by feel, and it's no big deal. But that's just the strength training is really what I started August 2019. So coming up on 6 years fully of getting back into that and staying consistent with that. And it's just been such a transformation. So now to put running into this, it's just a whole nother beast. And that's what I want to be. It's like a whole nother beast, whole nother person, and just put my body and mind to the test and see what I'm capable of. One of my favorite quotes by Socrates is one: a man should never be an amateur in the matters of the body. And that just really resonated with me and has. That's like what I think about often is, how far can we take ourselves? How far can we push ourselves? And what's the best way to do that for us? And, everybody's got their thing. So I'm going to see if marathon's my thing, but it's definitely a thing that I want to do, and get out there and get after it. So this next week, I'm looking at it right now. We got 7 mile workout, 8 miles easy, 4 miles threshold run, 14 miles. So that's going to be a big one. But I will definitely make a video after these 14 miles. Maybe I'll do another video even just for running 13, make a quick one or something like that. I guess I should have probably waited to make a video. I'll probably just record another one after this, because I don't know how good this is, but it's just me getting the habit of recording myself talking to the camera and just getting comfortable with that. And I'm starting to get a little sleepy actually. Try to go to bed, around 9 o'clock, and make sure to wind down as best I can. That's a big thing for me. It's like, bringing my body down, telling myself that it's time to rest, and like there's nothing else to do for the day, and just be done, and that's it. And then go from there. And yeah, I definitely want to get better about having a PM meditation breathwork practice of some kind. I used to have that, but the last month or so, it's just really fallen off. And that's what kind of happens with some of those things. And, they're all practices. So I just have to keep practicing. And yeah, I'll probably do a little mobility flow here, drink some more water, stay hydrated as best I can. It's like I said, it's pretty hot this summer so far in Chicago, and it's only been a week or so. It's been a bit of a heat wave, but I love it. I wouldn't change a thing as far as that's concerned. and just keep getting that good sun, and make sure you get outside. But yeah, just I guess that was kind of a weird way to just end it, but that is the end. So I'm just gonna end it.